All right, let's talk about something huge. Your brain. Is it really working for you, or are you just along for the ride? It's a big question, and we're going to figure out who or what is really in the driver's seat. Have you ever had this happen? You pull into your driveway after work, you turn off the car, and then it hits you? You have zero memory of the last 20 minutes. It's like you weren't even there. Kind of spooky, right? Well, there's a reason for that. In a very real sense, you weren't actually driving. Your habits were. That's what we call autopilot mode. It's when your conscious mind just kind of takes a back seat and lets this powerful automated system take the wheel. And look, this isn't just about your morning commute or brushing your teeth. Psychologists estimate that a massive chunk of our daily lives, we're talking up to 40% of everything we do, aren't conscious decisions at all. They're habits. Think about that for a second. That is nearly half your waking life running on a pre-programmed script. So, how does this even happen? How does our brain build these incredibly powerful automatic routines? Well, it all comes down to this really simple, kind of elegant, and super effective three-step pattern that scientists have figured out. It's called the habit loop. See, at its core, your brain is all about efficiency. It's a total energy saver, always looking for ways to take a shortcut. So when it stumbles on a behavior that works, it's like, perfect, let's lock that in. And it creates a neurological pattern to automate the whole thing. Okay, so it all works in three simple steps. First, you've got the cue. That's the trigger that tells your brain, okay, time to go into automatic mode. This could be anything, a certain time of day, a place, or even an emotion, like feeling stressed. Next up is the routine. That's the actual behavior, right? Maybe it's mindlessly scrolling through your phone. And finally, step 3 is the reward. This is the payoff that basically tells your brain, hey, this loop, it's a good one. Let's remember it. And that reward might just be a simple feeling of distraction or a little hit of relief. Now, here's where it gets really powerful. As you repeat this loop, that connection gets stronger and stronger. Eventually, the moment you even sense the cue, your brain is already anticipating and craving that reward. It hasn't even happened yet. That deep neurological link, that's what makes the habit loop so hard to resist. Okay, so why? Why on earth does our brain do this? Why does it just hand over control like that? Well, it really all comes down to biology. There's this brilliant, but maybe a little bit flawed division of labor happening right inside your skull. Think of your brain like a company. You've got the CEO. That's your prefrontal cortex. It's the smart, thoughtful part that handles all the complex, new problems. But man, it gets tired really easily. Then you've got the factory floor. This is a deeper, older part of your brain called the basal ganglia. And this thing is an absolute powerhouse of automation. It just stores and runs all your habits, no conscious effort needed. So, to save energy, the second a familiar cue pops up, the CEO is like, I'm out, and just hands the whole job over to the factory floor. The CEO basically goes on a coffee break. And that is why you can drive home while you're thinking about what to make for dinner. Your conscious mind is totally free because the basal ganglia is taking care of the driving. But here's the catch. Here's the trap. That factory floor, your basal ganglia, is incredibly efficient, but it's not smart. It has zero judgment. It can't tell the difference between a good habit, like, going for a run, and a bad one, like grabbing a cookie every single time you feel stressed. All it knows is the pattern. Cue, routine, reward. That's it. So does that mean we're just stuck with these habits forever, especially the bad ones? No way, absolutely not. The key isn't to try and fight the machine head on. It's about understanding the operating manual so you can go in and rewire it. And here's the really crucial part. Those neural pathways in your brain, the physical connections that make up your habits, they don't really ever disappear. Trying to just delete a bad habit with willpower is, well, it's like trying to push a giant boulder uphill. It's exhausting and it usually doesn't work. The smarter way is to just carve out a new, better path right next to the old one. And this leads us to what's called the golden rule of habit change. And honestly, it's so simple, it's brilliant. You don't fight the cue, you don't deny the reward. All you do is consciously change the routine that's sandwiched in the middle. Okay, let's use a classic example we can all probably relate to. The cue, it's 3 p.m. and you feel that wave of stress at work. The routine, you get up, walk over to the kitchen, and grab a cookie. Now, here's the important part. The reward your brain actually craves isn't the sugar. It's that moment of distraction, that little break from work. So using the golden rule, here's how you fix it. The next time you feel that 3 p.m. stress, that's your cue, don't ignore it. You consciously change the routine. Instead of walking to the kitchen, you walk around the block for 5 minutes. And guess what? You still get the exact same reward, a moment of relief and a mental break. But you satisfy that craving with a better behavior. Boom. You've just started to overwrite the old Luke. All right, let's zoom out for a minute, because this is about so much more than just cookies or driving on autopilot. This gets to the very core of who you are, and more importantly, who you are becoming. There's this amazing quote from James Clear, who wrote the book Atomic Habits, and it just reframes this whole idea perfectly. He says, our habits aren't just these random, isolated actions. No, they are small, daily votes that are constantly building our identity over time. Just think about it for a second. Every time you sit down and write one page, even just one, you're casting a vote that says, I am a writer. Every time you lace up your running shoes and get out the door, you're casting a vote for, I am an athlete. Every single action reinforces the kind of person you believe you are. So what this all means is that your identity literally emerges from your habits. Every single day, with every one of those tiny, automatic choices, you are strengthening the very neural pathways that define your future self. Your habits aren't just what you do. They are, quite literally, who you are becoming. So I want to leave you with this one last thought. Take a hard look at your own automatic routines, your own habits. If every single one of them is casting a vote for the person you'll be in 5 years, who's actually winning that election?